Finally, it's time for ODI World Cup 2023 final, and it's going to be India versus Australia after 20 years. Well, India have performed really well in this tournament through and through, 10 out of 10, and it's just matter of one match, one game at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, and then we'll see who will lift this big trophy. Well, India have performed really well, but on the other side, it's going to be mighty Australians. They have done it 5 times. They have won the trophy 5 times, and they know how to win tournaments. They know how to win World Cups. What India needs to be wary of? Well, let's hear it out from Network 18 Group Sports Editor K. Srinivas Rao. Hello, Srini, to this live session. Srini, first of all, law of averages. This term is so big, and everybody is talking about that if India can lose this World Cup final, then it can be because of law of averages. What do you have to say?
Well, see, if we had to like take a torch in the dark and go looking for something, that could worry Team India, then this could be probably the one this thing. Because where else do you find fault? Obviously, say like, and I know we want all bases covered. So, in search of that, if you go looking for it, law of averages, yes, because you won 10 matches on the trot so heroically, so handsomely, so one-sidedly,
Yeah.
kya, there's that Mumbai cricket में there's this joke. एवरी टाइम कोई नुस्ख निकालता है तो देयर इज दिस, क्या आपके टूथपेस्ट में नमक है? यू नो या दिस इज लाइक अ जोक, क्या रोहित शर्मा के पास गॉड गिफ्टेड टैलेंट है? दैट काइंड। क्या लॉ ऑफ एवरेजेस इंडिया के अगेंस्ट काम कर सकती है? अब नुस्ख निकालना है तो निकालना है तो निकालना है, तो फिर ये है लॉ ऑफ एवरेजेस। हाँ, मैं कल हमारे जो कलीग हैं क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट के, जो ये वर्ल्ड कप बहुत बेहतरीन तरीके से कवर कर रहे हैं, मिस्टर
Yeah.
साहिल मल्होत्रा, उनसे मैं बात कर रहा था। मैंने कहा, साहिल क्या लगता है? तो कहते हैं, सर, इंडिया को कोई बीट कर सकता है इस वर्ल्ड कप में तो वो है इंडिया खुद। गब्बर को मारना है, वहां कोई मार सकता है तो गब्बर खुद, दैट काइंड। So yeah, I mean the
Mm.
only thing India needs to be wary about is India. That's about it.
वेल यस, जिस तरह से परफॉर्म किया है इंडिया ने, तो लग तो यही रहा है कि कोई हरा सकता है इंडिया को तो वो होगी इंडिया। बट श्रीनी, जो एक दूसरा बड़ा थ्रेट है वो है लेफ्ट आर्म पेसर. So from the very start of this tournament, everybody was talking about which team has the best left arm pacers. People were talking about Pakistan, but we all know what happened with Pakistan in this tournament. Then now Australia have come into the finals, and everybody is talking about Mitchell Stark. So Mitchell Stark, left arm swing and pace. That's the biggest threat. What's your take?
Okay. See, let me give you the example of Rohit Sharma. Okay. He's obviously changed his entire batting, the way we are looking at Rohit Sharma right now is that carefree, risk taking Rohit, who's like leading from the front and giving India these wonderful starts. Now, what if the intent that Rohit wanted to show was the same, but probably things wouldn't have clicked the way they have? I'll give you an example of day before's game against New Zealand. He scored 47, and it was a
Mhm.
beautiful knock because it set India on the right path to get a big score. What if that
Yes.
47 was 7, and he would have played that shot a long off? Okay, and that catch would have been taken. Would you be so kind to Rohit and then continue to believe that he was playing in the best interest of the team? Or you would probably, recklessly say that he had gone on to play a trash shot. So why I'm saying this is because it is the end result that allows us to see things with a better perspective in hindsight. Okay, so while things are happening, we don't really necessarily see things the way in which they are happening. Most of the times, what happens with us is once they happen and once we reach a certain conclusion or a certain path that we begin to walk, that's when we look back and say, "Oh, this is how it was coming all along, and it was beautiful, wasn't it?"
Yeah.
So the same stands true for so many things. Now, you're talking about the Aussie attack. Again, this is
Yeah.
something that's going to be like, tomorrow Rohit were to try doing the same thing, and probably he would get over in less than 10 runs against a Mitchell Stark. You would say,
Yeah.
क्या जरूरत था यार rush shot खेलने का? You should have stayed
Mm.
for 5 overs, 7 overs, seen the ball, and then taken that risk, right? But then that against Pakistan in Ahmedabad, that same pull went into miles into the stadium, and we all enjoyed it, right? So
Yeah.
it's a thin line that separates risk taking and success. Now, to find
Mm.
success, you have to take that risk.
Yeah.
Yes, the cautious guy in me wanting India to do well wants me to say that, against a guy like Mitchell Stark, pace swing, if especially if we are like kind of, top of the order, brand new ball, I'd say let 4, 5, 6 overs go. So, for example, if you remember the match against Chennai against Australia, when we were
Yeah.
3 for 3 or something, right?
Yeah.
See how it began. First 6 overs, 5 overs, 6 overs, Stark was looking really unplayable, and then suddenly, the whole thing settled down, and then it was looking like it was easy to play, and India easily managed to pull the chase off, right? So maybe that's an
Yes.
approach India will have to consider. I don't know. Again, the players are the best judge of
Yeah.
how the ball is coming out of the bat,
Absolutely.
what kind of touch they are in, and all. But yeah,
Mm.
you'll want that initial 5 overs to be cautious. That's where you just want those 5, 6 overs. Just settle down there. See what the breeze, feel, conditions, wind, air, sun is like, and then take a call. You
Yeah,
still
that's
have
right.
35 overs to build your
Mm.
total.
That's right. That's right. But Srini, one thing that we all will have to accept that Australia, they have been the most successful side in this ODI format. This will be their eighth World Cup final. They have won 5 titles. For Australia, I feel there are some. I mean, it's a team who might say, been there, done that. We have done this so many times, and then we can do this time as well, right? So, don't you think so? This is one of the biggest threats, or this can be one of the biggest threats for Team India because Australia have the experience of World Cup finals for like 8 times.
Yeah, I mean, see, when the tournament began, they were making every single effort possible to remain at the bottom of the table, right? I mean, they, I mean, they took all their chances and they succeeded, and they managed to stay at 10th. Managed to lose some pretty easy games.
Yeah,
So did this tournament look like it did belong to Australia and England at one point? Yeah, it did. But that's the thing about Australia, they never really out until they're actually out, and they're still not out, which is why they're here in the final. So, and you said at the
yeah,
start of this, show, you said that this is a team that knows how to win a big ticket game.
yeah,
Historically, predominantly, Australia have been that gritty, never to give away, never to give an inch kind of a team. So if you look at this from all those sides, yes, it's a psychological edge they carry. You have to also give it to give them the credit of one thing, that for almost a generation of the old idea of a generation used to be 20 to 25 years. Okay, one generation. So there was
yeah,
a complete full generation that Australia just simply dominated world cricket, right?
yeah,
Now that psychological edge is no small thing. I am a 90s kid who grew up, watched bulk of my cricket in the 90s and turn of the century, right?
yeah,
And I mean, it's a mental scar. The amount of times I have seen Australia walk away with success at the cost of India, at the cost of everyone else, right? 2003 to 2015 to examples are galore. The number of times. So when 2011 quarterfinal in Ahmedabad happened, and we beat Australia, and thanks to Yuvraj Singh, when we won that game, you know, um, it was the joy was doubled, because not just that you were winning a World Cup quarterfinal, but you also the fact that you were beating Australia at their game, and that
yeah,
was the joy. That otherwise scars have been just way too much. So it is the psychological edge that Australia carries by way of the percentage success that they have achieved in the one-day format, right? So by
yeah,
virtue of that, you'd obviously want to be wary of them. But that said, look at this Indian team. It's like a juggernaut.
yeah,
Um, you know,
yeah,
they have just like kind of. So I was giving the examples. I was talking to someone. And this match, the semi-final against New Zealand at the Wankhede, I was saying to someone like, kind of, you won the game by 70 runs, and yet you feeling jittery about how close New Zealand came. On another day, a 70-run margin would be seen as a massively huge margin, right? But so well
Yeah,
has this Indian team been playing that 70 runs look so small. अरे यार 100 रन से क्यों नहीं जीते, 150 रन से क्यों नहीं जीते, right?
yeah,
So whatever happened to winning comfortably by 20 runs, winning comfortably by 15 runs, that's not the case anymore. Comfortable win has to be 100 plus runs, I guess. You know,
yeah, yeah,
that's where it's come
yeah,
down to. So if you look at it from that perspective, I'll say we are unnecessarily thinking a little too much about it, considering the fact that the Indian team has been
okay,
on a roll. And if ever
yeah,
I had to very confidently speak in favor of India, that time is now. Why shouldn't I? Why should I look at Australia and say that, here's a team that is can beat anyone on any day and they are Australia? No, no, no. This is India. They have won 10 matches on the trot like nobody else. And this is the Indian team that's supposed to go ahead and stamp its authority in Ahmedabad.
Well, we really have full confidence in the Indian team. But Srini, as we're talking about, all the threats, the other big threat is Glenn Maxwell. Well, the other day at the Wankhede Stadium, what Maxwell did was pure magic, and nobody expected that. And now everybody is thinking, well, Maxwell, can he pull that same magic any other day? Can he do the same in the finals? Or if not Maxwell, can that be any other batter? Because they have really good batting depth in their team.
Maxwell didn't play the knock of the World Cup. Maxwell played the greatest ODI knock ever, and
Yeah,
and instances like those just don't happen overnight all the time, right? They are once in a lifetime, kind of once in a generation kind of an effort that you get to see. So can Maxwell do the same thing? That'll be like superhuman. But that said, is Maxwell capable of course he's capable. But then is this Indian attack Afghanistan? No, they are not. So it works both ways.
right.
So I'd like to believe that, put India in Afghanistan shoes, and if Australia was 91 for 7 chasing 290 or something, would Shami, Siraj, Bumrah, Kuldeep and Jadeja given away the number of runs that Afghanistan gave away to Maxwell, especially with cramps, especially with a guy who can't move his feet? I doubt. If a Kuldeep Yadav was bowling and a Jadeja was bowling, Maxwell, without moving his feet at all, would he have been able to stand there? I doubt. So oppositions also vary. I mean, they're Rashid and Nabi. I'm
Yeah,
no
that's right.
disrespect to them, great bowlers. But that said, India is playing at a different level, on a different platform right now. So I wouldn't really give too much seriousness to anything, with due respect to what Maxwell did, and I sat and watched every single second of that innings, and wow, I
Yeah.
mean, that was something truly special.
Yes, and lastly, one another big threat can be Narendra Modi Stadium. The stadium itself, playing in front of more than 1 lakh people. I believe those jitters, those nervousness, those kind of feelings might come across to the players as well. Though they maintain their calm always, but obviously it can happen to anybody. After all, they are humans as well. Will that come across as a threat to them?
Yeah, I was there in that India versus Pakistan game. Unfortunately, Pakistan didn't even belong in that match. Psychologically they were like kind of gone, done. But
Yeah,
otherwise, kind of in front of 1,10,000, 1,15,000 people who expect you to not just win emphatically, and no single crowd can be very unforgiving, and that's how sport needs to be. We tend to take it a little too seriously and all. Like, you drop a catch, you kind of get out for a duck, you get hit for fours and sixes massively, and the crowd goes after you because the crowd is not happy. The crowd is paid money to come and watch you win. And why should
yeah,
that's sport? I mean, that's emotion. We tend to take, oh, kya baat kar raha hai? Why can't you respect the player? I mean, come on. I mean, the fan also has his own emotions, her own emotions. So you need to respect that also.
yeah,
Your job is to play, their job is to whatever. Come there to watch and feel good about what you played or feel bad about how you played. So don't take it personally. Just,
yeah.
you move on in life. That said, 1 lakh 20,000 people inside the ground wanting you to win every session, every ball, every over, hit sixes at will. That pressure is always there to, kind of be heroic. And in that, you got to
Yeah.
be very careful.
So I was in conversation with K. Srinivas Rao, and he shared all the threats that can come across Team India's way on the 19th of November. Well, what are your thoughts? Do let us know in the comment section down below. Well, we know that it's 10 on 10, which means that India have won all the 10 matches so far in this tournament, and we want them to win the 11th as well. Well, let's see what will happen on 19th of November. What are your thoughts? How do you want to see Team India on 19th? Do let us know in the comment section, and stay tuned with us on Cricket Next.